What's going on, guys? Jay Tsuro, Jay with the Pay. Hope you're doing well and swell. Thank you for tuning in. Back again with the white vans. Damn, Daniel. Anyway, sorry, just ignore that. Just a little bit hyper today. But anyways, I want to do a video how to become fit, how to prioritize your fitness, how to get shredded, how to get peeled, etc., etc. The first thing I want to go into, had a comment on the last video saying I was not giving practical advice, or a lot of the things I was recommending were very basic, and unless you're in high school, you probably know them already. So, hey, look, I'm not the freaking, scientist, mumbo jumbo. I'm not going to be able to break things down on a molecular level for you people, okay? But what I can do is just share my experience, share things that I've learned along the way, and really that's it. And that's all this is. You don't have to listen to this, what do they say? You chew the meat, spit out the bones, something like that. I probably butchered that. But anyways, we're going to talk about health, fitness, things I've learned along the way. And some of it is maybe going to seem pretty basic, but that's just what it is. Some things in life are basic and simple, but it doesn't mean that it is not difficult. So grab a notepad and a pen or pencil or your phone, notes app, whatever you need. The first thing that you're going to want to do to, become a better physical version of yourself, an absolute specimen, if you will, be peeled, shredded, absolutely yoked, you're going to have to do slow, steady cardio. You're going to have to do steps, Stairmaster, swimming. You might have to go on a hike from time to time. Walk the dog. The biggest thing is you need to try to hit a decent amount of steps per day. It makes fat burning a lot easier. I personally go for about 10,000 steps a day. A lot of times I hit more closer to between 15,000 to 20,000. Okay? That's number one. Do slow and steady cardio. Helps burn fat. Number two, I want to go into, you need to track your exercises, your sets, your reps, everything. There's an app I used to use all the time called Strong. That's Strong. It's free on the App Store. They also have a paid version. It's a little better, and you can save as many workouts as you want. I am not sponsored. It's just something that I genuinely got some use out of. If you're old school, you can also just write it down in a dang notepad. You don't need to be fancy with it. But you need to know the workouts you're doing, the exercises you're doing, and the sets and reps. The reason why this is important is so you can obtain something called progressive overload, right? You need to exert the muscle. That way it can repair itself, grow back stronger. Now, as an example, say I'm doing hammer curls, right? Those are pretty basic. I like that workout. What you'll do, say I am able to do 3 sets of 12 reps with each arm at 30 pounds. So if 1 week, if I hit that and I do the 3 sets of 12 reps each arm at 30 pounds, the next week I will try to do 35 pounds and I'll do 3 sets, try to get to 12 reps. You might not hit 12 reps because you just increased the weight, but say I do 10 or 11 reps per arm. As long as at some point in the future you eventually hit that 12 reps, that's when you know to increase the weight. And that's progressive overload. Basically just increasing the weight over time to help build the muscle. So you need to have a good workout plan, right? I used to do the Arnold split. It was great. It served me before. Now I do more so of a full body workout. There's a push-pull split as well. You got to find what works for you, but make sure you're hitting all the different muscle groups. Don't forget those calves. Don't skip leg day. I don't want to hear the excuse you can always just wear pants. The bottom don't matter. No, I'm just playing. But anyways, keep it moving here. Last thing I really want to touch on and talk about is your nutrition. And this is absolutely detrimental. This might be the most important thing to do. You got to cut the sugar. You got to eat, a well-balanced diet. I'm talking, high protein, fruits, veggies. And also, not only do you need to try to eat healthy, right? And that's simple. Oh, just eat healthy. Okay, are you doing it though? Are you actually doing it? Are you eating, ice cream? Are you having cookies, desserts, McDonald's, all these different things? Guys, I'm not perfect, right? There's occasional, time where I feel a moment of weakness and maybe I have a little bit of ice cream, all right? I'm not going to say I'm perfect, but more times than not, I will say no to crap. I'll give you an example today. Today there was cake, donuts, all kinds of stuff at the office. I did not have one single bite. All my coworkers were questioning me. Oh, did you try the cake? Did you have that? Did you have... No. I'm trying to get peeled. I'm trying to get jacked. I'm trying to be yoked, man. I don't got time for that, you know? So anyways, nutrition, very important. Quit eating all this junk, all this processed food. You know, stick to high protein. I do low carbs. And then, you know, just a well-balanced diet. I try to get the greens in. I try to have some, you know, fruits like bananas, strawberries, blueberries, mangoes, you know, all that type of stuff, right? Also, more times than not, if I am going to have some type of carb, I try to go more with a like sweet potato, Japanese sweet potato, because it's not as caloric dense as rice is. But I did like basmati rice. That was my thing for a while. And another thing I want to mention with this is a bonus tip. It is significantly easier if you eat the same thing every day. If I eat a pound of ground beef or a pound of ground turkey every single day and a half a cup of basmati rice and then a 2-scoop protein shake with water, oh my gosh, if you can do that, do that. But it does start to wear on you and it does get a little boring. But if you can eat the same thing every day and it doesn't bother you, do it. Because at the end of the day, food is energy. If it's enjoyable, that kind of comes second. But, you know, really the goal of food and the main purpose is to fuel your body. And, I mean, you can argue with me in the comments about that. I'll die on that hill. There's a reason why they try to put as much sugar and stuff as they possibly can in a lot of these processed food, and that's to pretty much make you a drug addict to the food. So anyways, don't want to get too crazy, too long-winded in this video, but guys, these are actionable, practical things you can do that should help you. You probably will see some improvements if you implement at least one of these things. Maybe you're doing all these. If you did the 3.5 things that I just said, and you're like, oh, dude, I'm competing in the Arnold Classic, or I'm Mr. Olympia. Hey, I don't know why you're watching the video, but nonetheless, if you made it this far, I appreciate you for listening and tuning into the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.